singing of our national anthem. Today, the Star Spangled Banner will be performed by Sonoma resident and all-time Stomper fan, Sandy Pollock.
On a beautiful day in Sonoma, California, Fresno Athletics baseball is on the air as your Fresno Athletics will be taking on the CCL team from Sonoma, the Sonoma Stompers, here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Welch for the Athletic Streaming Network. Glad to have you along here from Arnold Field in Sonoma, California, as your Fresno Athletics will try to snap a 6-game losing streak after falling to the Leghorns of Petaluma yesterday, 7-0. And this is going to be a tough test against a CCL ball club, the California Collegiate League, one of the best teams one of the best leagues and some of the best teams on the West Coast, from the San Luis Obispo Blues, Santa Barbara Foresters, the Healdsburg Prune Packers, the Athletics really familiar with. As your Athletics getting ready to do battle here, let's give you the starting lineup for both your Fresno Athletics and the Sonoma Stompers. First for your Fresno Athletics, led by the skipper himself, Oscar Hinojosa. Batting lead off in left field, it's going to be Roman Rosales. Batting second, the third baseman, Aiden Perry. Batting third, the first baseman, Cameron Namaria. Batting fourth in DH, our player of the game from yesterday, Tyler Smith. Batting fifth in right field, Brandon Byram. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Brandon Dodd. Batting seventh at third base, it will be Jacob Maynor the Painter. Over at second base, I should say. Correction, my apologies. Batting eighth, the catcher, Carlos Turk. And batting ninth in center field, it's going to be Zach Ahmed. Here's the starting lineup for the Sonoma Stompers with a record of 2-1 after taking down the Alameda Anchors 2 days ago. Batting lead off, the shortstop, number 8, Brandon Marion. Batting second in left field, Wyatt Davis. Logan Azam. Batting third in right field, guess him. Batting fourth, we'll give you that lineup in the bottom of the first, but we're just about to ready to get going here as Roman Rosales settles in at the plate. As your Fresno Athletics ready to go here. Here's the first pitch on the way from the pitcher, starting pitcher Bryant Fortin for the Stompers. Undecided at the moment. Here's the pitch on the way from Fortin. Caught a little bit up and away for a ball, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes for the left fielder, I should say, Roman Rosales. We'll give you that starting lineup once again for your Athletics. Will be Rosales, Perry, DeMaria, Smith, Byram, Dodd, Maynor, Turk, and Ahmed. The 2-0. Called for a strike on the outside corner, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike to the lead top of the order guy and leadoff guy, Roman Rosales out of Reedley College, and was there in the spring. Will be there and will be at Lewis and Clark in the fall. A little bit upstairs for a ball, 3-1 as Roman Rosales ahead in the count as Aiden Perry waits in the on-deck circle. The Athletics on that third base dugout here in beautiful Sonoma, California. What a beautiful afternoon for baseball. Here's the pitch on the way, the 2-1. In the air, center field, calling for it is Basher, camping under it, and he makes the grab for out number one. One gone here in the first. Give you that defensive position for the Stompers of Sonoma out of the California Collegiate League. It'll be Gastillion, the catcher out of San Jose State. The Spartan will be behind the dish. Over at third, it's Maldonado. Marion at short. Hall at second. Paragia over at first. In the outfield, it'll be Davis in left, Basher in center, and Azum in right. Here's the pitch on the way from Fortin to Aiden Perry. Swung on and missed for a strike, 0-1. Aiden Perry out of Dakota State University, one of our recent players of the games. Player of the game, I should say, during the homestand. Here's the 0-1 on the way from Fortin. He delivers. Called for low for a ball, 1-1. One ball, one strike, and one gone. The ones are wild here in wine country as we were driving up this morning for wine country. We drove by Sonoma Raceway. Here's the pitch. Called upstairs, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 gone here in the early going. We just got going at around 1:04. Well, actually, around 1:09, actually. My apologies. 1:09 here in Sonoma. Here's the pitch, the 2-1. Fouled back, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 gone. Top 1. Early going here in Arnold Field. Beautiful ballpark here. It kind of reminds me of Healdsburg where the Athletics played last season. But it's a beautiful park with some ivy off into center field. Kind of reminds me of Wrigley Field in Chicago. Here's the 2-2 offering on the way from Fortin. He sets, he delivers. Fouled back, and that's going to be, we'll re-rack it once again, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Aiden Perry out of Dakota State, the guy who likes his turkey. He likes eating turkey at one of his favorite barbecue places. They're called the Salt Lick in Austin. Here's the pitch on the way. The 2-2 dealt once again by Fortin. Oh, and that bat just broke. Paragia steps on the square in time, but holy moly, that bat broke by Aiden Perry. Aiden Perry said he put that ball in there, and the slivers of lumber go all over the place here at Arnold Field. Wow. As coaching over at first base, it will be Wyatt Featherson, and coaching over at third, it's going to be Oscar Hinojosa. First time coaching over at third base this season, as with 2 gone here in the first, as Cameron Demaria steps up to the plate for your Athletics with nobody on and 2 gone. Here's the first pitch on the way from Fortin. Swung on and missed for a strike, 0-1. Cameron Demaria currently in the transfer portal at the moment. He's ready to get going here with the 0-1 as he awaits the 0-1 from Fortin. Here's the pitch, the 0-1 from Fortin. Called for a strike, a generous strike. 0-2. Nothing in 2's the count. 2 gone. As Tyler Smith waits in the on-deck circle. 2 gone and nobody on here. The Athletics trying to get the offense going. Yesterday was kind of a struggle fest for the Athletics. Here's the pitch on the way. The delivery, and it's called. Check. We're going to do it for the check swing, called for strike 3, and Cameron Demaria is not happy about that zone, and that'll retire the side here in Sonoma. It's your Athletics with 0, and the Stompers coming up to the plate right after this. Beautiful day for baseball here in Sonoma. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. We go to the bottom of the first here in Sonoma as your Athletics go to work defensively. It will be the Stompers up to the plate for their first time. Give you that starting lineup once again for the Stompers will be Marion, Davis, Azem, Gastion, Bartram, Iparguia, Brasher, Hall, and Maldonado. On the mound, toeing the rubber, it's going to be Drake Dowd. If his dad watching on it back in Texas, here's the first pitch on the way from Dowd. I should say. Drake Dowd called for. Did not see the official call just yet. But here's the pitch on the way from Dowd. He sets. He waits. He delivers the 0-1. Ooh, called low for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to the shortstop, Braden Marion. Braden Marion at Diablo Valley College at the plate. Top of the order guy. Here's the 1-1 on the way from Dowd. He sets, he delivers. Call, a little low, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike to the top of the order guy, Marion. Give you that lineup once again. It'll be Marion, Davis, Azem, Gassion, Bartram, Iparguia, Basher, Hall, and Maldonado. The 2-1. Skips across the plate. 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. It's your Athletics. Had good defense yesterday, but defense kind of crumbled when the game was hanging in the balance. The 3-1 called upstairs for ball 4. That's a leadoff walk for Brandon Marion, putting a runner over at first and nobody gone here in the home half of the first. It will be Wyatt Davis, the left fielder. Wyatt Davis up to the plate. Wyatt Davis out of Fresno State. The Diamond Dog at the plate. Here's the first pitch on the way from Dode. Runner at first, nobody gone just yet in the first. Here's the pitch. Called fastball for a strike, 0-1. Nothing at one's the count for the left fielder, Wyatt Davis. Wyatt Davis out of Fresno State. For the Diamond Dogs, it's good to see some of the Diamond Dogs out in summer collegiate land. Here's the 0-1 from Doe. Runner at first. Swung on and missed for a strike, 0-2. Nothing in 2 for Drake Dode. It's your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. If they can get off the field defensively fast, they can get the offense back at the plate. Here's the 0-2 on the way. The 0-2 comes home from Dode. Peeks at first. He sets. He delivers. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Beautiful pitch by Drake Dode. First victim here in the bottom of the first. With 1 gone and a runner over at first will be Logan Azim. Azim, the right fielder for the Stompers. It's your Athletics trying to keep this offense from scoring. Azim out of the University of San Francisco, USF, out of the West Coast Conference. Here's the pitch from Dode. Skips across the plate. Let's give you that defensive look for your Athletics. Starting at catcher behind the dish, it will be Carlos Turk. At third, it's Aiden Perry. At short, it's Brandon Dodd. At second, it's Jacob Maynor. And at first, it's Cameron Demaria. Here's the pitch on the way from Dode. Throws it over to first instead. Try to get the runner Marion out, but no dice. In the outfield for your Athletics will be Roman Rosales in left, Zach Ahmed in center, and Brandon Byram in right. So kind of a change for the Athletics. Here's your Athletics trying to find something here, trying to find some mojo, the 1-0. Called inside, because I couldn't tell. Yeah, it was called inside. Here's a 2-0 on the way. Called for a strike on the outside corner, Dowd. 2-1, 2 balls, 1 strike. Dowd. Here's the pitch, and it's going to go over to first instead. Here's the pitch from Dowd. 2-1, runner at first. 1 gone, bottom 1, called for a strike right down Main Street. Make the count even, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 gone. Here they go. Here's the 2-2 offering on the way from Dowd. Dowd ready to deal. He sets. He waits. He delivers. It's going to be a line drive down that left field line. and that's going to be a base hit. Rounding second is Marion. Marion going to try to score, go over to third. The tag, he's going to be called safe. And that's going to put a standing double for Azim. That puts the Stompers in scoring position here in the bottom of the first. Your Athletics trying to stop the bleeding already here. Your Athletics trying not to get shaken here at Arnold Field. Good crowd on hand here. Some fans from Fresno in attendance. We're glad to have you along here on the Athletic Streaming Network. Bottom one. Here's the first pitch on the way to Omar Gastillo out of San Jose State. First pitch called for a strike, 0-1. Nothing in one's the count for the catcher. San Jose State in the Stanford Regional as they were eliminated yesterday. San Jose State winners of the Mountain West Conference at Pete Biden Field at Bob Bennett Stadium on Memorial Week in the 0-1. Fouled back behind the plate, and it will be 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes for the catcher, Omar Gastillo. Here's the dimensions of the ballpark here in Arnold Field. It'll be 305 in left, 435 in center, and 311 in right. Here's the 0-2. The 0-2 comes home from Diao. Diao ready to deal here in the bottom half of the first. The 0-2, one gone, runners at second and third. The 0-2, grounded towards second, picked up by Perry. The throw over to first, and he got him in time for out number 2. 2 gone here in the first. I should say it's Perry over at second and Maynor over at third, I should say. 1 gone. As that scores a run, 1-0. Stompers out in front. With 2 gone, the Athletics trying to get off the field here defensively, trying to minimize the bleeding here in Northern California. Here's a pitch on the way from Diao. Diao sets. He delivers. Oh, that's going to be a wild pitch. Ricochets off. Going to try to tag him. He got him out. Carlos Turk has to sacrifice his body for out number 3, and that'll end the inning with only 1 run scored here in the bottom of the first. The Stompers with 1, and your Athletics with 0. We go to the top of the second right after this. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletic Streaming Network. We go to the top half of inning number 2 here in Sonoma as Tyler Smith will step up to the plate. The DH man who was catching yesterday, our player of the game in Petaluma. Here's the first pitch on the way from Bryant Fortin to Tyler Smith. First pitch called a little upstairs for a ball. 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes for Tyler Smith. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 due up for your Athletics here in the top of the second. Here's the pitch. Pop up. Lost in the sky. Calling for it is Hall, but it's going to be Marion. And he makes the grab for out number 1. 1 gone here in the second as Brandon Byram steps at the plate for your Athletics. You might, if you're seeing it on our screen, I know, apologies for that. It's where we're located on that third base side as Brandon Dodge in the on-deck circle. You notice that the home plate's a little bit up. On the, like, elevated a little bit at home plate. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on and missed for a strike. 0-1. Brandon Byram ready to do battle here. Byram out of Dakota State University. Byram, actually, remember we talked about this during the homestand. It was actually, we were talking about his cleats. The pitch, as it's Foul, almost fouled in the foul territory, and it will go foul to that right side. Talking about his unique cleats, his unique baseball cleats, he was telling me, Brian, these are football cleats because of the neon, with the neon and orange on there. He said, you know what, Brian, when I'm in the outfield, I want good traction when I'm out in the outfield. So he wears those football cleats right there. So he awaits the 0-2 from Fortin. He fouled that last pitch back. Here's the 0-2. Upstairs, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and only 1 gone here in the second as Brandon Dodd waits in the on-deck circle out of Fresno Pacific University. We'll talk about him during his at-bat. It's Brandon Byram's time here at the plate. Here's the pitch. Grounded toward first. Picked up by Epergui. Toss over to first. Over to Fortin. He got him out. 2 gone here in the second. And the Athletics still looking for their first hit of the afternoon as Brandon Dodd steps to the plate, the young man out of Fresno Pacific University. Ready to do battle here for his first appearance as Jacob Maynor waits in the on-deck circle. With 2 gone and nobody on here in the second, it's going to be Fortin on the mound, towing the rubber. A righty-on-righty matchup. The first pitch called for a strike, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike for the shortstop, Brandon Dodd, with his mom and dad watching on from Visalia, California. Brandon, the former pioneer of Mount Whitney High School, 0-1, called for a strike once again, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 gone, and nobody on here in Arnold Field. A beautiful afternoon for summer collegiate baseball. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed, and he got him for strike 3. And that'll retire the side here in Sonoma. It's the Stompers with 1 in your Athletics with 0. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. We go to the home half of inning number 2 here in Sonoma at Arnold Field. Glad to have you along here. I'm Brian Welch of the Athletic Streaming Network. As Derek Bartram steps to the plate for his first appearance as the Stompers lead 1-0 here in beautiful wine country. Here's the first pitch from Dowd. Called Dowd for a strike, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. To the 5-hole batter, Derek Bartram. The 5, 6, and 7 batters due up for the Stompers. Here's the 0-1 on the way from Dowd. I should say. The pitch, and it skips across the plate, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to the leadoff man, Derek Bartram. Derek Bartram for the Stompers out of Fresno State as well. 2 Diamond Dogs in this lineup for the Stompers. Here's the 1-1 offering on the way from Dowd. Dowd sets. He delivers. Called for a strike, 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here in the bottom of the second, 1-0. Stompers out in front. Your Athletics trying to get off the field offensively here quickly. Here's the pitch, the 1-2. Skips across the plate. Your Athletics trying not to get this into a horse race with the Stompers. It's only trail by a run at the moment. Here's the pitch from Dowd. Dowd sets. He waits. He delivers the 2-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Second punch out for Drake Dowd out of Navarro College. The Bulldog strikes out the Bulldog. Wow, what a pitch. 1 gone and nobody on here. In the bottom of the second is Chara Ipagina, the first baseman out of Chico State, steps up to the plate for his first appearance here in beautiful Arnold Field. Here's the first pitch on the way from Dowd. Skips across the plate, low downstairs, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes for Ipagina. Xavier Ipagina out of Cal State, Chico State. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 gone here in the bottom half of inning number 2. The ones are wild here in wine country. Here's the 1-1 on the way from Dowd. Dowd sets, he waits, he delivers. Called low for a ball. Your Athletics trying to get off the field here as Ipagina ahead in the count, 2-1. The 2-1 comes home. Dowd sets, he waits, he delivers. Skips across a little bit inside as well, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here in beautiful wine country. It's been a beautiful weekend seeing the scenery. Here's the pitch on the way from Dowd. The 3-1, trying to dig himself out of a hole. Called for a strike. Ipagina said, hey, I wanted to go all the way over to first base, but the home plate umpire said, hey, not so fast, my friend, as the count goes full, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and only 1 gone here in the second. Here's the payoff pitch on the way from Dowd. And he got him, and we will re-rack it once again. Count stays full here in Arnold Field. Your Athletics and their green and yellow uniforms with that green and yellow cap. Here's the payoff pitch. Called low for ball 4, and Ipagina takes his base, walking 90 feet over to first. As Nathan Brasher, the center fielder, steps to the plate out of Brown University, out of the Ivy League here in the Golden State for his first appearance of the afternoon against your Athletics, with a runner over at first and 1 gone here in the bottom of the second. Your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. That's been something the Athletics have been trying to work on throughout the summer collegiate season. They had the runs, a great inning, but the Athletics weren't able to they had the hits, but they weren't able to put the runs together. It's the first pitch on the way from Dowd. To the center fielder, Nathan Brasher. The first pitch called for a strike, 0-1 on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike for the center fielder. In the 7-hole, batting 7th. Out of Brown University. Here's the 0-1 on the way from Dowd. He sets, he delivers. Grounded towards short. That's going to escape into left field. Base hit. And that's going to put runners at first and second. A base hit, a 1-out single for Brasher. A base hit here in the bottom of the second. It'll be Hayden Hall, the second baseman, up to the plate. for the Stompers here. Hall out of Monterey Peninsula College. The Otter. Here's the first pitch on the way from Dowd. All the way to Hayden Hall. Here's the first pitch. He sets. He waits. Peeks at second. He delivers. Called for a strike. 0-1. Runners at first and second. Let's give you that defensive positioning once again for your Athletics. It's Turk right behind the plate. It's Manor over at third, Dodd at short, Perry at second, and DeMaria at first. The pitch upstairs for a ball. In the outfield, it's Roman Rosales in left, Ahmed in center, and Brandon Byram in right. Here's the 1-1 offering on the way from Dowd. Dowd sets. He peeks, he throws. Called upstairs, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 gone here in the bottom half of inning number 2. Stompers out in front early, 1-0 against your Fresno Athletics. Apologies for not having a pregame show. It's a little bit crazy here at the ballpark, getting everything set up here on that third base side. Apologies for the camera angle. The pitch called for a ball. Counts full. Actually, 3-1, I should say. 3 balls, 1 strike, and 1 gone. Bottom 2. Runners at first and second. Here comes Dowd out of Navarro College. The Bulldog on the mound, toeing the rubber. He sets, he waits. He delivers. Swung on and missed for a strike, and the count goes full here in Sonoma. But a beautiful afternoon for baseball here. And Sonoma County, we were talking about this yesterday. We were talking about going for the wine, going from Napa Valley, the wineries, to Petaluma, to Roanoke Park, now here in beautiful Sonoma. When you think about the California Collegiate League, this is what you think about. You think about old-time baseball stadiums and good times here in California. The payoff. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Holy moly, that's a great pitch by Drake Dowd. And that's a pitch that the Athletics need right there. As he strikes out Hall, 2 gone. Here in the second will be Jeremy Maldonado, the third baseman, coming up to the plate for his first appearance as he steps up to that elevated home plate. Kind of looks like an elevator. Here's the first pitch on the way from Dowd. Gets the signal from Turk. He gets ready to deal. He's set, peeks at second, he delivers. Called for a strike on the inside corner. Dowd finding his zone right there. It might be a little bit inside, but been an interesting zone so far. Here's the 0-1 on the way from Dowd. He sets, peeks at second, he delivers. Swung on and missed for a strike, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, bottom 2 here at Arnold Field. If the Athletics can get off the field here in this moment, this can change the ball game. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch from Dowd. Peeks at second. The 0-2 comes home. Oh, on the outside corner. You can hear the gasp from the Athletics dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes, in disbelief about about the call. We go on. We march on here. The 1-2 from Dowd. He sets. He delivers. Fouled back, and we re-rack it once again. 1 ball and 2 strikes once more. It's your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. Can they get off the field defensively here? As the home plate umpire cleans the plate, we go back to work here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 gone, bottom 2 and 2 on. Runners at first and second. It's Ipagina over at second and Brasher over at first. Ipagina's there because of a walk, and Brasher's there because of a base hit. Swung on and missed to strike him out. Back-to-back K's to retire the side, and Drake Dowd is the best. He's one of the best pitchers already here in Sonoma County. Back-to-back Ks to end the inning here in Sonoma. It's the Stompers with 1, and your Fresno Athletics with some momentum. Can they cash that one in? We go to the top of the third right after this. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. We go to the top of the third here at Arnold Field in beautiful Sonoma, California, as Jacob Maynard settles in at the plate for his first appearance. We'll start the top half of inning number 3. Here's the first pitch on the way from Fortin. In the air. Left center field going back, trying to camp under that is Basher, and he got him out for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the third. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 batters of Maynard, Turk, and Ahmed. As Carlos Turk steps up to the plate for the Athletics, and the Athletics get something going here offensively. As they only trail by a run in a great defensive performance by the young man out of Navarro College, Drake Dowd, with back-to-back Ks. First pitch on the way. Whoa, inside, and Carlos Turk hit by the pitch. And that's going to put a runner aboard, and he's the first runner aboard for the Athletics this afternoon. And this is what the Athletics needed here offensively. You know what, get it on base any way you can, by a walk, hit by a pitch, base hit, double, triple, you need everything. As Zach Ahmed steps up to the plate here with a runner aboard at first, and only 1 gone here in the top of the third. Here's the pitch on the way from Fortin. He sets, he waits, he delivers. Bunt by Ahmed. That's going to roll down that third base side, and they're going to make it foul. 0-1. No balls and 1 strike for Zach Ahmed out of Chestnut Hill College. The Griffin at the plate. It's been a very interesting one for the Athletics as they trail by a run and a runner over at first, as Carlos Turk was hit by the first pitch in his at-bat. Your Athletics trying to snap a 6-game losing streak, as they only trail by a run at the moment. Here's the 0-1 on the way from Fortin. He sets. He peeks over at first now. Here's the 0-1. He waits, he delivers. And it's fouled back to that left side. It screams over our head here on our broadcast position here in Arnold Field on that third base side. You can hear some of the chatter from the Athletics dugout on that third base side. Here's the 0-2 on the way from Fortin. He sets. The 0-2 comes home. Runner over at first. Upstairs, way upstairs. As Gassiam out of sounds, they stay wanted to rifle it over to first, but decided not to. So your Athletics trying to get this offensive spree going here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 gone here in the third. Here's the pitch on the way. The pitch upstairs. Whoa, makes the count even, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and only 1 gone here in the top of the third. With Carlos Turk over at first base, he is there because he was hit by a pitch. This was the first batter to get on for the Athletics this afternoon. Here's a pitch on the way from Fortin. The 2-2 comes home. Upstairs, it makes the count full, 3-2, and Zach Ahmed makes it full here. It's been a good at-bat between Fortin and Ahmed here in the top of the third as Roman Rosales waits in the on-deck circle. Here's the 2-2 on the way from Fortin. He sets. He waits. Does a quick pick over at first. He delivers. The payoff swung on and missed for strike 3. And Ahmed goes down on strikes, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Bryant Fortin here in the top of the third. As we go back to the top of the order of Roman Rosales. 0 for 1 so far, a fly out in the first. As your Athletics trying to get something going here offensively with only 2 gone here in the third. The young man who's going to Lewis and Clark in the fall waits for the first pitch from Fortin. In the air, that's going to go down for a base hit into center field. That's going to be a base hit for Roman Rosales, putting runners at first and second here in the top of the third. Your Athletics trying to keep this offensive train moving here. Runners at first and second, a 2-out single for Mr. Roman Rosales, who averaged .353 at the plate for the Tigers in the spring as Cameron DeMaria waits in the on-deck circle. 2 gone and 2 on. First pitch called a little outside for a ball. 1-0. Can the Athletics capitalize here? Your Athletics trying to keep this offense moving here. With a walk and a base hit, what can Aiden Perry do? Called a little bit inside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Aiden Perry out of Dakota State University talking about his favorite barbecue place in Austin, Texas is the Salt Lick. He likes getting the turkey at the Salt Lick. He's not a big brisket fan. Here's the 2-0. Fortin sets, peeks over at second, he delivers. Swung on and missed for a strike, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 2 gone here, top 3. 2 gone and 2 on here. Runners at first and second. That's Roman Rosales over at first base. He's there because of a base hit. And Carlos Turk's over there at second because he was hit by a pitch. And also there's the Stompers mascot, Rawhide. Swung on and missed for a strike. The Athletics are thinking about getting themselves a mascot. Maybe we'll get an elephant. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 2 gone. Runners at first and second here in Arnold Field in beautiful Sonoma, California. Here's the pitch, the 2-1 from Fortin. He sets, he waits, he delivers. In the air, that's going to be a line drive into left field. Rounding third is Turk. He slips, and he's going to try to make it all the way. We got a pickle here. Turk's going to try to go all the way home. We got a pickle here. And Roman Rosales is going to go all the way back over to second. And he got him out. A little bit of miscommunication there by Turk and Roman Rosales, as that will retire the side here in Fresno. A great hit by Aiden Perry. The Athletics that close to get something on the board, but they'll send the defense back into the home half of inning number 3. It's the Stompers with 1 and your Athletics with 0. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. We go to the home half of inning number 3 here in Sonoma. As we go back to the top of the order for the Stompers, will be the shortstop Brandon Marion up to the plate for his second appearance. Walked his first time up. And that's bottom half of inning number 1 is Drake Dowd on the mound, towing the rubber out of Navarro College. Back-to-back Ks to win the inning last time when he was on the mound. First pitch on the way, fouled back behind the net. That will be 0-1. It will be the 1, 2, and 3 batters due up for the Stompers. It's Marion, Davis, and Azim. It's your Athletics. Trying to get off the field defensively here. More aggressive defensively. Here's the pitch, the 0-1. Called for a strike, a fastball by Dowd. No balls, 2 strikes. To the top of the order guy, Brandon Marion. Marion out of Diablo Valley College. The 0-2 comes home. In the air, left field, tracking it down, and that's going to, whoa, and Ahmed makes a great grab. He has to sacrifice his body once again as he had to run right by that wall. 1 gone here in the 3rd. Zach Ahmed had to put the burners on to go catch that one in left center field. 1 gone here in the 3rd as your Athletics survive once again. 1 gone here in the 3rd. Wyatt Davis, the left fielder, up to the plate, 0 for 1 as well. 0 for 1, I should say. He was struck out in the first. First pitch called for a strike. 0-1 out of Fresno State. Dowd on the mound, showing the rubber. Wyatt Davis. Here's the pitch on the way from Dowd. He sets. He waits. He delivers. A little bit low and outside for a ball. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 gone here in the bottom half of the third. Excuse me, as your Athletics trying to get out the field defensively here. Here's the pitch from Dowd out of Navarro College. He sets. He delivers the 1-1. Skips across the plate. 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 gone. Bottom 3 and nobody on here at Arnold Field. Davis out of Fresno State. Fresno State in the news in the last week, hiring Ryan Overland, taking the interim tag off. Official head coach for the Diamond Dogs. The 2-1 on the way from Dowd. He sets, he delivers. In the air, right center field. Drifting is trying to track that one down is Byram, and he grabs it for out number 2. Back-to-back flyouts as we start the bottom of the third. As the 3-hole batter, Logan Azim, the right fielder, steps with the plate for his second appearance. 1 for 1 so far, with a standing double in his first appearance in the bottom of the first. As the Athletics playing well defensively here. Kind of probably the best we've seen them play all week long. As your Athletics trying to get out the field defensively. 2 gone. First pitch from Dowd. Skips across the plate, and it escapes out in the mid of Turk. 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. Here in the bottom of the third. Stompers in their white uniforms. The Stompers in cursive script in blue across their chest. Blue, orange numbering. Grounded towards second. Picked up by Perry. The throw over to first, and it's in time. A quick 1-2-3 third inning to end the inning here in Sonoma. We got a good one brewing here in wine country. It's the Stompers with 1 and your Fresno Athletics with 0. We go to the top of the 4th right after this. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. We go to the top of the 4th here in Sonoma. It's your Fresno Athletics trailing by a run. First pitch on the way from Fortin to Cameron DeMaria. It will be called. I didn't get the call yet, but Cameron DeMaria at the plate. The 1-0 swung on and missed for a strike. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike here to the leadoff man, Cameron DeMaria, in the 3-hole, I should say, batting third for the Athletics. It's your Athletics trying to get something going here offensively. The offense almost scored a run, and it's sliced foul to that right side, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Cameron DeMaria out of Fresno, California, the former Blue Raider of Carruthers High School at the plate. It's Cameron DeMaria ready to do battle here. Fortin on the mound, towing the rubber. The 1-2 punch. He sets, he delivers. Called up and away, make the count even 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 batters of DeMaria, Smith, and Byram for your Athletics. The Athletics almost got a run scored. Here's the 2-2. Inside to make the count full, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Cameron DeMaria, as Tyler Smith waits in the on-deck circle. Our player of the game yesterday against the Leghorns. Here's the 3-2. He sets, he waits. Fortin delivers the payoff. Pop up, and it's going to go foul to that right side, and the at-bat stays alive for Cameron DeMaria. As that hits something out there. As Tyler Smith is warming up, hit some of the fencing. Here's the payoff pitch once again. Fortin sets, he delivers. Fouled back behind the plate, and Cameron DeMaria keeps the at-bat alive as the Athletics playing smart here. Can the Athletics get on the base here? I mean, at this point, the Athletics need to get on the base anyway. I mean, if you hit by the pitch, walked, if you get a base hit, double or triple, the Athletics will take it, the payoff. Grounded towards short, picked up by Marion, gloves it, throws it over to first, and he got him in time. One gone here in the top of the fourth. I'm Brian Welch for the Athletics Streaming Network. Is your Athletics in a nice little chess match against a team from the California Collegiate League. Talking about the California Collegiate League, it's probably one of my favorite leagues to watch besides the Fresno Athletics because of the great crowds and also some of the games they do in between the innings. In between our last commercial break, they were doing a game like the Jelly Bean Boozle. If you ever had the Jelly Bean Boozle, like the stuff that's like if it tastes like cherry or strawberry, or if it tastes like booger or vomit, kind of like that, kind of the little bit crazy stuff that you see in between innings to entertain the fans. Here at Arnold Field, here's the pitch on the way from Fortin. Call inside for a ball as Tyler Smith at the plate for his second appearance. 0 for 1 so far with a fly out in the second as your Athletics trying to get something going here as they only trail by a run. The 2-0 on the way from Fortin. Called for a strike low. Tyler Smith, you can see his facial expression is like a little bit interesting on that zone. A righty-lefty matchup here in the fourth. The 2-1 on the way from Fortin. He sets, he waits, he delivers. Called a little bit outside, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, and only 1 gone here in the fourth. 1-0 Stompers out in front against your Athletics. The 2-1. The 3-1, the pitch. Grounded. And that's going to escape into center field for a base hit. Tyler Smith gets aboard with a 1-out single here in the fourth. It's your Athletics in the same position they were last inning. But they weren't able to put any runs on the board. Can they change? Can they flip the script? Can they change the narrative here in Arnold Field? But a beautiful day for baseball as Brandon Byram steps up to the plate with his football cleats on, with the neon and orange cleats. You can see him here on the Athletic Streaming Network. Here's the first pitch on the way from Fortin as Brandon Dodd waits in the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch. Pop up. First base side, Ibrahima calling for it in foul territory. He makes the grab. 1 pitch, 1 out. 2 gone here in the fourth. As Brandon Dodd steps up to the plate, 0 for 1 so far, struck out in the second. As your Athletics trying to get something going here offensively. But trying to get something going here offensively. The offense has been kind of hit or miss. The offense trying to get something going here. Offense struggled yesterday against Petaluma. Here's the pitch on the way from Fortin. Called for upstairs for a ball, 1-0 as Jacob Maynor waits in the on-deck circle. His dad, Mike Maynor, in attendance here at Arnold Field. Here's the 1-0 offering on the way from Fortin. He sets, he waits, he delivers. Pop up, and it's foul to that right side. Brandon Dodd out of Fresno Pacific University. The Sunbird at the plate. His mom and dad watching from Visalia, California, the former pioneer of Mount Whitney High School. Here's the 1-1 offering on the way from Fortin. He sets, he delivers. Swung on and missed for a strike. It's your Athletics trying to get something going here in the fourth. Here's the 1-2 on the way from Fortin. He sets, getting ready to deal here. He sets, he waits, the 1-2 punch. Quick peek over at first. And skips across the plate. Wild pitch. And here comes Tyler Smith going all the way over to second base as he strolls to second. Putting a runner over at second. The Athletics that's the tying run at second. And the go-ahead run at the plate. As Jacob Maynor waits on. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. The deuces are wild here at Arnold Field. Here's the 2-2 offering on the way from Fortin. The 2-2. Called upstairs to make the count full 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. The money pitch is here in Wine Country. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch. Fortin sets. He waits. He delivers. Swung on and miss, and that'll retire the side here in Fresno. 1 left on as we go to the home half of inning number 4 here in beautiful Sonoma, California. It's the Stompers with 1 and your Fresno Athletics with 0. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. We go to the home half of inning number 4 here in Sonoma, as your Athletics trailing by a run 1-0 against the Stompers of Sonoma, as Omar Castellum, I should say, out of San Jose State University at the plate. First pitch on the way from Drake Dowd. He waits, he sets, he delivers. Skips across the plate, and that ball is going to go over the fence, as it does not scream over our heads, but it lightly screamed over our heads. Counts 1-0. 1 ball, no, actually, here's the pitch from Dowd. He sets, he delivers. In the air, right field, tracking it down is Brian, running forward, and it's going to go right by the warning track. Rounding first is Gallium, going to go all the way over to second. He's going to have a standing leadoff double to start the home half of the 4th. A standing double here in the home half of the 4th would be Derek Beltran, the DH man, 0 for 1 so far this afternoon. Struck out in the 2nd as your Athletics trying to get something going, trying to keep this offense from scoring more runs. It's been only a 1-run ball game. If you remember from yesterday, it was a close ball game until the 8th inning in Petaluma against the Leghorns, I should say. It's your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. Drake Dowd, so far, 4 punch-outs here in wine country. Here's the first pitch. Swung on and missed. Turk going to try to track that one down. And he's going to get to Gessilum goes. Gastelum stays over at second. But Carlos Turk able to track that one down. That ball went to the wide right. It's your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. Perfect double play situation. Might be a good situation, but we shall see. Here's the 0-1 on. Here's the pitch. As Dowd gets the signal from Turk. He sets, he waits, he delivers. Called up and away for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike, and nobody gone, and a runner over at second. The Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here as the outfield waiting the pitch, in the infield as well. We're waiting the pitch here as well here on the Athletics Streaming Network, the 1-1. Skips across the plate. Turk Ray wanted to rifle it over to second, but decided not to. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, and nobody gone, and a runner over at first. Over at second, I should say. My apologies. For runner over at second. But a beautiful day for baseball. Wind not blowing as much, with the American flag standing. Actually, American flag in center field, but there's a American flag in right center field. There's a joining baseball diamond, the 1-1. Skips across the plate, and here comes Gassilum, and he's going to go all the way over to third base. And Oscar Hinojosa steps out of the dugout. And that puts a runner over at third base, as he's going to call Turk in as well. It's your Athletics behind in the count here. 3-1, 3 balls and 1 strike. for Derek Beltram out of Fresno State. The Diamond Dog awaiting for the conversation to conclude for Hinojosa, Turk, and Dowd. I should say Dowd, Drake Dowd. It's Drake Dowd on the mound so far. 4 punch-outs. Behind in the count here. Infield closes in here at Arnold Field. Gastelum over at third. Here's the 3-1 from Dowd. He's getting ready to deal. The southpaw against the righty here. He waits. He's ready to go here. He's ready to go. Here's the pitch, the 3-1, called up and away for ball 4, putting runners on the corners here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's your Athletics. With nobody gone, the Stompers going to send up the young man from Chico State, Chara Esperdia, the first baseman, with a walk in the second. So the Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here with runners on the corner. Gastelum over at third. And Beltram over at first. Here's the pitch on the way from Drake Dowd. He sets, he waits, he delivers. Fouled back to that right side. That's going to be an 0-1. No balls and 1 strike here in the bottom of the 4th. Your Athletics trying to keep this offense at bay for against the Stompers. Here's the pitch on the way from Dowd. Gets a signal from Turk. He waits. Peeks over at first. He delivers. Skips across the plate. That'll make it 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and still nobody gone here in the home half of the 4th. It's your Athletics trying to get out the field defensively here. Here's the 1-1 from Dowd. Peeks over at first. He sets. He delivers. Grounded towards second. Perry mishandles it. Throws it over to first, and he got him in time. But it'll be a sacrifice as Gastelum scores from third. That'll put Beltram over at second. 1 gone here in the 4th. As Nathan Brasher, the center fielder, steps up to the plate. It's your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. This is something the Athletics trying to not have a repeat performance of the last 6 games. The Athletics on a 6-game skid. Here's the pitch called for a strike. 0-1. No balls and 1 strike for Drake Dowd out of Navarro College. The Bulldog on the mound, towing the rubber. Runner over at second, 1 gone. 1 run already scored for the Stompers. 2-0 so far in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the 0-1. Called check swing. And the check swing's going to be called for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 gone here in the 4th. The ones are wild here at Arnold Field. Here's the pitch on the way from Dowd. Dowd ready to deal. The 1-1. The one's wild here in wine country. Wind blowing out the left. Here's the pitch, and it's skied foul to that right side with a little bit of a curve to it. And it'll land in the parking lot to that south side. Your Athletics trying to get out the field here. With 1 gone and a run scored already for the Stompers. They lead by a duo 2-0 so far here in wine country. Here's the pitch on the way from Dowd. Looks over at second. He waits. He delivers. Swung on and miss. Turk throws it over to first, and he got him in time. 2 gone here in the 4th. Your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. The runner stays over at second. Turk with that great throw. As Hayden Hall steps up to the plate, the second baseman, 0 for 1 so far, struck out in the second. Your Athletics trying to get off the field offensively here, playing the best in the West so far. Here's the first pitch from Dowd. He sets, he waits, peeks at second, he delivers. Swung on and missed for a strike, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike for the second baseman, Hayden Hall. Hayden Hall out of Monterey Peninsula College, out of the CSU, Monterey. Your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. It's going to be a critical inning for the Athletics. The throw to second, and he's going to be called safe. Aiden Perry, he was close. That's one of those 50-50 calls. But your Athletics staying with the Stompers here. Here's the pitch on the way from Dowd. The 0-1. He sets, peeks over at first. He delivers. Skips across the plate. Your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. The 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes and 2 gone. Bottom 4. Stompers out in front by 2, 2-0. Here's the pitch on the way from Dowd. He's set, gets ready to deliver here. Wind blowing out to left field. Peeks over at second. He delivers. Called low for a ball. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. Runner over at second. Bottom 4 here in beautiful Northern California. A picture-perfect day. Blue sky all around. Not a cloud in sight. Beautiful California weather. I would say it'd be Chamber of Commerce weather. Here's the 1-2 punch from Dowd. He peeks over at second. He delivers. The 1-2 fouled off, and we stay in the at-bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here in the bottom of the 4th. 2 gone and 2 on, and 1 on, I should say. But your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. Here's the pitch on the way from Dowd. The 1-2 called outside. That'll make the count even. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. The deuces are wild here in Sonoma. 2-0. Sonoma out in front against your Athletics. Bottom 4, a runner over at second. Here's the pitch on the way. The 2-2. He waits. He sets. Dowd peeks at second. He delivers. The 2-2. Call. One of those 50-50 balls. And that's going to make the count full. 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. The money pitch is on the way from Drake Dowd. All the way from Texas. Navarro College, the Bulldog. Can he strike out the side? Here's the payoff pitch. He sets. He delivers. Called for strike 3. Got him. Back-to-back Ks once again here in the second and the 4th, and that'll end the inning here in Sonoma. We got a good one brewing here in wine country. It's the Stompers with 2 and your Fresno Athletics with 0. They come up to the plate right after this. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. We go to the top of the 5th here in Sonoma as Jacob Maynard will lead things off for your Athletics. Fortin on the mound telling the rubber steel. First pitch on the way to Maynard, grounded toward third, picked up by Maldonado, and the throw will be in time. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the top of the 5th here. And Sonoma, it's been a close one for your Athletics. They only trail by 2 at the moment as the Stompers fans were participating in the singing of YMCA. Hey, I like singing YMCA. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the 5th. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 batters of Maynard, Turk, and Ahmed. As Carlos Turk at the plate. Here's the first pitch on the way from Fortin. He sets, he delivers. Upstairs for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes for Carlos Turk. Last time up, he was hit by the pitch in the first pitch in the at-bat, so he was able to get over to first base. He was part of that almost that scoring spree made it all the way around third, but he slipped. He tripped. And the Athletics were kind of stuck in a pickle, but your Athletics only trail by 2 at the moment. Here's the pitch, the 2-0 on the way from Fortin. Upstairs for ball 3, and Turks ahead in the count here. 3 balls and no strikes here in beautiful wine country, Sonoma County. Sonoma, driving for the city. It's a cool town, a cool little town here, nestled in Napa Valley. The 3-0 called out inside, up and in for a ball, and that's Turk is able to draw a walk here in the top of the 5th. As Roman Rosales waits in the on-deck circle, will be the 9-hole batter, Zach Ahmed out of Chestnut Hill College. As your Fresno Athletics try to keep this offensive train going here, as your Athletics only trail by 2 at the moment, 2-0. Here's the first pitch on the way from Fortin with 1 gone and a runner over at first. Here's the pitch. As he got a piece of it, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike and 1 gone. Top 5. The runner over at first as Carlos Turk. He's there because of a walk. As your Athletics trying to get this offensive going. They were able to get off the field in a quick manner defensively. At the end of the 4th, here's the pitch. Bunted. Picked up by Gastiano. Throw over to first, and the throw will be in time, but it's going to put Carlos Turk over at second. Gastelum over at catching. Trying to track that one down. He was able to get him out. Zach Ahmed with the perfection bunt right there. Put Turk over there, over at second. But a beautiful day for baseball here. Temperatures here in Northern California have been great for us. It's been Chamber of Commerce weather. Current temperatures in Sonoma, it's 80 degrees. Feels a whole lot better, and I feel a breeze blowing in from our broadcast position. Today's high will be 81, but current temperatures is 80 degrees. Here's the 0-2 on the way from Fortin. He sets, he waits, he delivers. Pop up. And the skit in the air, shallow left center field. Colin Ford is Marion. He makes the grab for out number 2. 2 gone here in the 5th. As we go back to the top of the order of Roman Rosales out of Reedley College. He'll be going to Lewis and Clark in the fall. 1 for 2 so far. Fly out in the first and a base hit in the 3rd as Aiden Perry waits in the on-deck circle. This season, when you're watching the Athletics on the Athletics Streaming Network, you can support the Athletics on their GoFundMe page. Search Fresno Athletics on GoFundMe to support your favorite team this season. Here's the first pitch on the way from Fortin, called a little bit low and downstairs for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, and 2 gone here in the top of the 5th. As Carlos Turk over at first base now, the 1-0. Called upstairs, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Top 5 and 2 gone. Oscar Hinojosa coaching third base. As Wyatt Featherston coaching over at first. First time Oscar Hinojosa has coached over at third base this season. Here's a 2-0. In the air, that's going to go down that right field line. Base hit, rounding seconds, Turk. Turk going to try to go all the way to third, rounding third, and he's going to slip again. And Turk, he's going to speed at the plate. And he's going to be thrown out. And that's the second time Carlos Turk has rounded third, and he slipped. And that will retire the side. The Athletics were that close. What a hit. But that's going to retire the side here in Sonoma. What a ball game we have here. It's the Stompers with 2 and your Fresno Athletics with 0. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. We go to the home half of inning number 5 here in Sonoma as Jeremy Maldonado steps into the plate for his second appearance. 0 for 1 so far, struck out in the second as Drake Dowd on the mound towing the rubber. Here's the first pitch on the way from Dowd to start the bottom of the 5th. First pitch called for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. It'll be the 9-1-2 batters, Maldonado, Marion, and Davis. It's your Athletics. You can hear that wind on the crowd mic here. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Maldonado, my apologies. Maldonado out of Santa Rosa JC, out of Santa Rosa Junior College, at the plate for his second appearance, second time by. Here's the 0-2. Skips across the plate, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Jeremy Maldonado, as Brandon Marion waits in the on-deck circle. Beautiful field here at Arnold Field in Sonoma. It's kind of like a two-way field. It's a football in the fall, baseball in the spring and summer. Kind of reminds me of Healdsburg. But one of the things I made an observation was yesterday was that all baseball diamonds in Sonoma County have the 0-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. What a pitch. And that's going to be the 7th strikeout, a touchdown of strikeouts for Drake Dowd out of Navarro College to start the bottom of the 5th. As your Athletics, with 1 gone, can the Athletics can they get off the field offensively here? As your Fresno Athletics, here's the first pitch on the way from Dowd. He sets, he delivers. Upstairs for a ball, 1-0. I was talking about my story, but a great pitch from Drake Dowd interrupted it. I mean, I don't mind Drake Dowd interrupting. Drake Dowd strikeout with 7 strikeouts so far, 7 punch-outs for the Bulldog out of Navarro College. Here's the 1-0 offering on the way, shutting down the Stompers. Here's the 1-0. Called inside for a ball, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, and 1 gone here in the 5th. Talking about all baseball diamonds in Sonoma County, they always have the home plate facing the east to west. The 2-0. Grounded towards third, picked up by Maynard. The throw over to first, and he got him in time. 1 gone, 2 gone here in the 5th, I should say. That's the first ground out, the start of the inning. 1 gone here in the 2 gone here in the 5th, I should say. It's Wyatt Davis out of Fresno State stepping up to the plate. 0 for 2 so far. Struck out in the 1st and a fly out in the 3rd as your Athletics. Trying to get off the field offensively here, courtesy of the young man, the Bulldog, the guy who I've been carpooling with for the last day. The first pitch on the way from Drake Dowd, inside for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes for Drake Dowd. As on the baseball, I was talking about all the baseball diamonds around Sonoma County. My apologies. Here's the pitch on the way, the 1-0 from Dowd. He delivers. Called for a strike. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 gone here in the 5th. That all the baseball diamonds face the sun. Here, especially at Healdsburg and yesterday at Ronat Park against the Leghorns, the 1-1. Swung on and missed for a strike. 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here in the bottom of the 5th, as it's kind of a change here that the field is facing away from the sun. The 1-2 punch called a little low and inside, 2-2. Davis out of Fresno State. Sure, the Diamond Dog at the plate. It's kind of cool to see a lot of the Diamond Dogs out in there playing summer collegiate baseball. The 2-2 comes home. Dowd delivers. Swung on. And Turk throws it over to first, and the frozen time for out number 3, and that will retire the side. That's what the Athletics needed there. Is that the momentum swing the Athletics need? We shall see as we go to the top of the 6th right after this. This is a good one here in Wine Country. Do not leave your chairs. Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. New pitcher for the Stompers as we start the top half of inning number 6 will be Seth Colson. We don't have him on the roster the Stompers provided me before the ball game, but it's Seth Colson on the mound, towing the rubber as Aiden Perry will lead things off here in the 5th. Thank you so much. The hospitality here in Sonoma is the best in the CCL. Here's the first pitch called a little low and outside for the young man who just broke his bat in his first appearance. Aiden Perry in the first had that bat like shattered off. We might take a picture of that. I'll post that on Twitter. About it. I've only seen a bat break only once. A comebacker right over to Colson, the throw over to first, and the frozen time for out number 1 to start the top of the 6th. The last time I saw a bat break during the athletics season was last year. I was going through my memories on Twitter, and I remember there was a broken bat in Reading. That's right. It was a broken bat. I'm trying to remember the player who it was, but a broken bat for the Athletics. You don't normally see that. It's good construction on that lumber. Here's the first pitch on the way. The Cameron DeMaria called for a strike on the inside corner. Wow. Cameron DeMaria out in the transfer portal currently. The 0-1 comes home on the way from Seth Colson, number 49 on our roster. We have 48 and 52, but no. Call a little bit upstairs, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top 6. And nobody on here in the top of the 6. Here's the pitch on the way. Colson sets, he delivers the 0-1. Grounded. Toward third, picked up by Maldonado, throws it over to first, and that throw he's going to be safe. And Cameron DeMaria, he's going to be called safe. A great job by Cameron DeMaria. He's over at first base with a 1-out single here in the 6th. As Tyler Smith steps up to the plate here, it's Cameron DeMaria with a lucky save right there, sprinting toward first, and he's able to get that 1-out single here in the top of the 6th. One gone and a runner over at first. Tyler Smith in the DH role, our recent player of the game, called upstairs for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes here in the 6th. As Brandon Byram waits in the on-deck circle with his football cleats for better traction in the outfield. Here's the 1-0. In the air, left field. Tracking it down is Davis making the grab, and he makes the grab for out number 2. 2 gone here in the 6th. Your Athletics only trail by 2 at the moment. They've had the hits, but they've not been able to put the runs on the board. As they only trail by 2 at the moment, as Brandon Byram steps with the plate here for his 3rd appearance. 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out in the 2nd and the 4th, respectfully. Here's the pitch on the way from the reliever Colson. He delivers. Called for a strike, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike as Brandon Dodd waits in the on-deck circle, getting ready to face off against the new reliever. But it's Brandon Byram's show right here out of Dakota State University. Here's the 0-1. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled off to that right side. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Top 6 here at Arnold Field. Beautiful ballpark here. Let's give you the dimensions of the ballpark once again. It's 305 in left, 435 in center, and 311 in right. Here's the 0-2. Colson delivers. Called upstairs. That makes the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Top 6. A runner over at first. So your Athletics ready to try to get this offense going here. The last time the Athletics had a run was all the way back during the Reading series. Swung on and miss for strike 3, and that will retire the side here in Fresno. A very frustrating afternoon indeed for the Athletics offense, but the defense is playing lights out as we go to the home half of the 6th right after this. Stompers leading by 2-0 over your Fresno Athletics. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. New pitcher for your Fresno Athletics as we start the home half of the 6 here in Arnold Field. It'll be Griffin Joseph. Griffin Joseph will be on the mound, toeing the rubber for your Athletics. Drake Dowd, 5 innings pitched with 3 hits on 2 runs and 8 punch-outs for the young man out of Aro College. Will he be our player of the game? We shall see. 8 punch-outs that have stopped the Stompers here offensively. First pitch on the way from Griffin Joseph, called a little upstairs for a ball. 1-0. So it will be the 3, 4, and 5 batters of Azim, Gastelum, and Bartram, the right fielder, catcher, and DH man up for the Stompers. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, as my crowd mic about to fall over, but we will fix that. Broadcasting here on the Athletic Streaming Network here for you here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Here's the 2-0 on the way from Joseph. Griffin Joseph upstairs, 3-0. As Azim, 1 for 2 so far, standing double in the first, grounded out in the third. Your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. They've done that well. Your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. The 3-0 on the way from Joseph. Upstairs for ball 4 and a leadoff walk for Azim to start the inning. With a runner over at first and nobody gone here in the bottom half of inning number 6, it is going to be Omar Gastelum out of San Jose State University. The Spartans they were just eliminated yesterday in the Stanford Regional. As he steps up to the plate here. Stompers in their white uniforms with Stompers in blue in cursive with that. Kind of reminds me of the LA Dodgers uniform. I know it kind of sounds weird because we're in enemy territory for the Dodgers with the Giants and the A's, but that's that LA Dodgers feel to it. Here's the first pitch on the way from Joseph. Called upstairs. Turk throws it over to first, and he tried to get him out, but no dice. As Oscar Hinojosa steps out of the dugout. And he will have a conversation with his reliever, Griffin Joseph. And will the whole infield come in? This is the second conversation with 2 different pitchers in the ballgame. But it's been a good one so far for the Athletics. The Athletics usually get runs on the board. That's the thing. They've had people in scoring position, but they have not been able to put the runs on the board. That's something that the Athletics have kind of struggled with for the last during this 6-game losing streak. After losing to Reading and losing to the San Diego Grind and losing yesterday to the Leghorns, the Athletics need a quick turnaround here. So the Athletics go back to work here. And the bottom of the 6th as they trail by 2-0. 2 balls, actually 1 ball and no strikes as Oscar Hinojosa going to close the gate right there as he steps right back into the dugout. Here's the 1-0 offering on the way from Griffin. Runner goes. The throw over to second is not going to be in time. And that's going to put a runner over at second. That's going to put Azim over at second. That was a 50-50 call. Aiden Perry's like, wow. Well, your Athletics still battling here. 1 ball, 1 strike, and nobody gone here for runner over at second base. Gastelum out of San Jose State at the plate. Here's the pitch, called upstairs. 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike, and nobody gone still in the bottom half of the 6th. Been a good one so far. It's been a good defensive matchup. Good, both infields playing strong. The Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. Here's the 2-1. Joseph peeks over at second. He delivers. Called low. 3-1 is the catcher out of San Jose State. San Filippo head coach, great head coach, coaching for the Spartans. That Spartan team had a lot of experience. The team that wanted to win the tournament, they had to come back from behind upstairs for ball 4, and Gastelum walks over to first. That's back-to-back walks in the inning. Now, and they're going to put, as we have something going on here, as Oscar Hinojosa going to have a conversation with the home plate umpire. As they're going to put Azim over at third, as Oscar Hinojosa going to have a conversation. And now the skipper of the Stompers is going to make an appearance, wearing a jacket. Gastelum still at the plate. Trying to figure out what's going to go on here. Because Azim's over at third. But we shall see what's going to happen here. The conversation's still going here. It's the Athletics signaling to the bullpen here. As the home plate umpire and the infield umpire will have a conversation this season when you're watching the Athletics on the Athletics Streaming Network. You can support the Athletics on their GoFundMe. Search Fresno Athletics on GoFundMe to support your favorite team this season. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Welch of the Athletics Streaming Network. If you're just now joining us, we've had a good one so far as we have a conversation with the Gastelum at bat for the Stompers. It's been kind of interesting to watch as the Stompers leading 2-0 against your Fresno Athletics. It's been a good one so far. The starting pitcher for the Athletics, Drake Dowd out of Navarro College, the Bulldog, having 8 punch-outs. Kind of the Stompers having no answer for the young man out of Texas. And that will put a runner over at first now, and now it makes it very interesting. As the home plate umpire having a conversation with head coach Oscar Hinojosa. Conversation continues and ensues. And what's going on here? And then we will Mike Edlin making a conversation. He's trying to add his point to the conversation. That's having runners over on the corners now. Edlin's making the point saying, hey, we got to go over to second. As this is going to be interesting to look at here. Here in the bottom half of the 6th, we have a little bit of stoppage in play. And oh man. We'll talk with head coach Oscar Hinojosa about this in our post-game show, I should say. As Derek Beltran steps to the plate for his 3rd appearance, struck out in the 2nd. And Oscar Hinojosa will step out of the dugout once again. We'll have another conversation with Griffin Joseph and Carlos Turk here. Been a good one so far. A good defensive battle of the Athletics in this one as they trail by 2 at the moment. It's been a good one so far, and Griffin Joseph's day is done here in the bottom of the 6th. Runners on the corners. We'll tell you who the new pitcher is when we come right back after this. Sonoma leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. New pitcher for your Fresno Athletics is the young man out of Reedley College, Trey Williams, an ERA of 6.46 on the season for the Tigers, 15 and a third this season as well. For Trey Williams on the mound, showing the rubber, relieving Griffin Joseph, as Griffin Joseph only saw 2 batters in his outing. Here's the first pitch on the way from Trey Williams. He sets, he delivers. Called for a strike, 0-1, nothing to one's to counter the DH man, Derek Bartram. Here in the 6th with runners at first and second, back-to-back walks. Here in the bottom half of inning number 6, the Diamond Dog at the plate. I did a couple of Fresno State games this season on the Mountain West Network. The pitch, the 0-1, called low, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike for Trey Williams, the former Timberwolf out of Clovis East High School. The current Tiger out of Reedley College on the mound, toeing the rubber. The 1-1 on the way from Williams. He sets. He waits. He delivers. Called for a strike. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Trey Williams. Runners on the corners, I should say. My apologies after that controversial decision. But your Athletics trying to keep this offense from scoring more runs. They've kept the Stompers from scoring more so far. The 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And that's the first victim for Trey Williams here in the bottom half of the 6th. With 1 gone and runners on the corners, the Stompers are going to send up their first baseman, Tar Espagina, out of Chico State. As he steps to the plate for his 3rd appearance, grounded out his last time in the 4th and walked in the 2nd. It's the Athletics trying to get out of this inning alive. 1 gone. The pitch skips across the plate. Trey Williams steps off the mound, and he says, let's do this once again. 1 ball, no strikes, only 1 gone here in the bottom half of inning number 6 here in Sonoma and beautiful wine country here in Northern California. Here's the pitch on the way from Trey. He sets, he waits, he delivers. Called for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike here in the bottom half of inning number 6 here on that. We're here on the third base side here in Arnold Field. Beautiful afternoon for baseball. Beautiful stadium. If you ever have a chance to watch the CCL, here's the pitch, the 1-1. In the air, belted in the left field. Tracking it down is Rosales, camping under it. Here's the relay, the throw, all the way home. And it's not going to be in time, but it's going to be 2 gone. A sacrifice fly for Padina. And that will score. Azim makes it 3-0. With 2 gone here in the 6th, it will be Nathan Brasser, the center fielder. 1 for 2 so far. Base hit in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. It's your Athletics trying to keep out the field defensively here. The throw was good by Rosales in left field. Rosales has been at first base, been at the DH role. Now he's in the outfield for the Athletics so far. 3 positions so far. Makes him a versatile player. First pitch on the way from Trey. Swung on and miss. That ball's going to make it all the way over. It's going to go wild, and Gastelum goes all the way over to second base. Counts 0-1. Runner over at second. That's Gastelum out of San Jose State University. The Spartan over at second. Here's the 0-1 on the way from Trey. Here's the pitch from Trey. He sets. He waits. He delivers the 0-1. Skips across the plate, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 gone. Bottom 6 and a runner over at second. Is your Athletics trying to keep the Stompers from scoring more runs. A run already scored here. It was off the bat of Arapagina. That sacrifice fly into left field that drove in Azim. The 1-1, grounded, chopper. Picked up by Dodd, froze it over to first, and he got him in time for out number 3, and that'll end the inning here in Sonoma. But a run scores for the Stompers. They lead by a trio as we go to the top of the 7th here in Wine Country. Stompers 3, Athletics 0. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. We go to the top of the 7th here in Sonoma as Brennan Dodd steps up to the plate for your Athletics as your Athletics trail by 3-0 against the Stompers. First pitch on the way from Coleman, the reliever, called. Skips across the play. Actually got to fouls it off. 0-1. So it will be the 6, 7, and 8 batters of Dodd, Maynor, and Turk, the shortstop, second baseman, and catcher. As Maynor the Painter waits the on-deck circle, it's Brandon Dodd's show, called up the stairs for a ball. 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike for Brandon Dodd out of Fresno Pacific University. The young man at the plate so far, a pair of strikeouts in the 2nd and the 4th. He was struck out in the 2nd and the 4th. The pitch, upstairs for a ball. 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike for Brandon Dodd. He was struck out a pair of times in the 2nd and the 4th. As his mom and dad watching on from Visalia. Here's the 1-1. Called inside 2-1, 3-1, I should say. 3 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff man, Brandon Dodd. Brandon Dodd, a product out of Mount Whitney High School, the former Pioneer at the plate. Here's the pitch, the 3-1. Pop up. Right field, tracking it down in the grab made by Ipagia for out number 1. 1 gone here in the 7th as Maynard the Painter, Jacob Maynard, out of Cal Lutheran, steps up to the plate. With 1 gone and nobody on here in the 7th. 0 for 2 so far, a fly out in the 3rd and a ground out in the 5th. So the Athletics going back to get something going here offensively. They've had the offense, but the offense has not been able to score the runs. Here's the pitch on the way from Coleman. Called for a fastball, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. And 1 gone here in the top of the 7th as your Athletics need something here as the innings wind down here in Sonoma, though. 0-1. Called upstairs, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike is Carlos Turk waits in the on-deck circle. The young man at catcher. He's been on base both times. We'll talk about him during his at-bat. It's Jacob Maynard's time, the Kingsman at the plate. Here's the 1-1. Called low for a ball, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Okay, so they're 35.
Okay.
We can give you our employee discount of 20%. Okay?
I'll pay that right back here.
And so it's going to be like $30.
Thank you, sir. Hey, you know what? When you're in Sonoma, you got to get yourself a Sonoma Stompers hat because I'm a big hat collector, and I'm going to make. And here is 2 and 2 this count for Jacob Maynard as we get ready to go here. The 2-2 on the way from Coleman. He sets, he delivers. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and Maynard goes down on strikes 2 down here in the 7th. As your Athletics trying to keep, I will get my wallet right now. I will pay for it right now. I'll be paying for a baseball hat while I'm on the air. I don't think I've ever said that before on the air before, but we're going to do something. It might be a Guinness Book of World Records here. There you go. Thank you, sir. You know what? When you're in Sonoma, you got to get yourself a baseball hat. That's the cool thing. It's kind of, I'm a big hat collector. I like wearing hats. I like wearing the Athletics hats, new Athletics hats this season. As Carlos Turk at the plate, swung on and got a piece of it. It actually has the cool thing is it has the CCL logo with the 30th anniversary. With the 30, it's pretty cool. I like because I have a Santa Barbara Foresters hat I got in 2021. That has the CCL logo. I need to take a picture of that. I'll bring that to the ballpark on Tuesday, the next ball game for your Athletics. Here's the 0-2 on the way from Coleman. He sets, he delivers. Fouled back behind the plate. 0-2 once again is up Zach Ahmed in the on-deck circle for your Athletics. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone, nobody on. Top 7. It's almost time to stretch here in wine country. Here's the 0-2. Coleman delivers. Called for strike 3, and that will retire the side. Back-to-back Ks with our reliever, Seth Colson. And that will retire the side here in Sonoma. It's time to stretch in wine country. Stompers with 3, and your Athletics with 0. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. We go to the home half of inning number 7 here in Sonoma as the Stompers leading 3-0 against your Fresno Athletics. Your Athletics trailed by a trio now. Here's the first pitch on the way from Trey Williams, the reliever. 3 pitchers used so far for the Athletics. First pitch on the way, skips across the plate. 1-0, 1 ball and no strikes to the second baseman, Hayden Hall. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 batters of Hall, Maldonado, and Marion. Here's the pitch on the way from Trey. He sets, he waits, he delivers. Called low, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes, and thank you so much.
Tax deduction.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, I want to take a picture of this hat. It's actually a pretty cool hat. I'm talking about the CCL is like the 30 embroidered on that right side of the cap. The 2-0 swung on and missed. Trey Williams with a nasty pitch. The Submariner strikes again for strike 1. No, 2 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff man, Hayden Hall. Here's the pitch, the 2-1 from Trey. He sets, he delivers. In the air, belted into left field. Base hit, the lead things off for Hall. For a runner aboard over at first and nobody gone, it's going to be Jeremy Maldonado, the third baseman, up to the plate in the 9-hole spot as your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. They've had the plate, they've had the moments of getting off the field defensively. It's your Athletics trying to stop the Stompers offense from scoring more runs. Here's the first pitch on the way from Trey. Trey Williams out of Reedley College, the former Timberwolf of Clovis East High School. First pitch called for a strike on the inside corner. Trey Williams finding that zone perfectly. A little bit of a stumble in the first at-bat. The Athletics trying to find that perfect zone here in Wine Country. Here's the 0-1 from Trey. He sets, he throws it over to first instead, and he will not get him out. Throws tardy. The count remains 0-1 still. You know what? I was talking about the CCL. I know we have a great environment over at Chachansey Park with the CCL, with the legacy of the Blues, the Foresters, the Prune Packers, and now with the Stompers. The pitch, and it's fouled back behind the plate, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to the 9-hole batter, Jeremy Maldonado. Jeremy Maldonado out of Santa Rosa Junior College at the plate for the Stompers here as the Stompers warming up a guy in their bullpen on that first base side. Here's the 0-2 on the way from Trey. He sets. He waits, runner over at first, and nobody gone, bottom 7. In the air, golf, and a line drive grab. The throw over to first. He got him in time. Double play as Isaiah Ochoa, the substitute over at shortstop, got him out with a line drive grab. 2 gone here in the 7th. As we go back to the top of the order, Brandon Marion, the shortstop, walked in the first, fly out in the 3rd, and grounded out in the 5th. So the Athletics need that off. They need this momentum here, folks. It's been so frustrating for the Athletics offensively, but the defense have kept the offense in this ball game. 2 gone and nobody on here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the first pitch on the way from Trey. He sets, he delivers. Call, on a little bit inside for a ball. 1-0, 1 ball and no strikes as the fine hospitality of the Sonoma Stompers are giving me an umbrella, actually. Here's the pitch from Trey, the 1-0. He waits, he sets, he delivers. Called for a strike on the inside corner. Thank you so much. That means a lot. A nice umbrella here, the hospitality of the Stompers with the shade provided here. Here's the pitch on the way from Trey. He sets, he delivers, the 1-1. Line over to Ochoa, mishandles it, and that's going to be a base hit for the top of the order guy, Brandon Marion, here in the bottom of the 7th. There's your Athletics trying to keep the Stompers offense from scoring more runs here in the home half of the 7th. Just moving my computer over here. It's been a kind of a juggling act so far. There's your Athletics trying to keep the Stompers offense from scoring more runs. It's been a task so far, but they may be able to step up to the challenge here against a team from the California Collegiate League. First pitch called for a strike. 2 gone, bottom 7. Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here. But a beautiful afternoon for baseball here in not in the heart of the San Joaquin Valley. That's where you are listening from, or wherever you may be listening. The 0-1 called outside 1-1. Where are you listening today? We had people listening from British Columbia, Texas, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and a lot of people from California listening. I know my parents are listening right now on the west side of the San Joaquin Valley. The 1-1 on the way from Trey. He delivers. Called outside for a ball, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 gone, a great double play forced by the new shortstop, Isaiah Ochoa. With his girlfriend Emily watching on, and his family as well. The 2-1 from Trey. He sets, he delivers. Line drive, and it's going to be grabbed by Ochoa, so it's Isaiah Ochoa who does the damage for the Athletics, and that will end the inning. He has the hot glove right there. Isaiah Ochoa gets the Athletics a chance to live again here in the 8th, as it's the Stompers with 3 and your Athletics with 0. We go to the top of the 8th right after this. We got a ball game here in wine country. Don't leave your chairs. It's Sunday afternoon baseball. This is better than the major leagues. This is, and the college regionals. This is Fresno Athletics baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. New pitcher for the Stompers as we start the top of the 8th here in Sonoma. It'll be Nico Rodriguez out of Texas Rio Grande Valley, out of the Western Athletic Conference, as he'll be able to face Zach Ahmed out of Chestnut Hill College. Bless you, boss. Anthony DeMaria, the general manager of the Fresno Athletics, in attendance, the former Aggie of UC Davis and the former Torero of the University of San Diego. Counts 0-1. So it will be the 9-1-2 batters of Ahmed, Rosales, and Perry. The 0-1 on the way from Rodriguez. That's pull. That's foul to that left-hand side as that screams over our heads here at Arnold Field. Beautiful ballpark here at Arnold, here in Sonoma at Arnold Field. I mean, you know what? The CCL we had the best. I think the Athletics had the best stadium in West Coast Summer Collegiate Baseball. Grounded toward Hall. The throw over to first, and he got him out in time. That's one of those 50-50 calls. It's like if he's either safe or out, and Ahmed rounds out here in the top of the 8th. As we go back to the top of the order of Roman Rosales out of Reedley College. He'll be going to Lewis and Clark in the fall. 1 for 3 so far. Fly out in the first base hit, and the third was stranded over at second. One of those peculiar plays that Roman Rosales was over there. He was running, and Carlos Turk slipped, rounding third, and then put into a kind of a weird pickle. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed for a strike. 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes for Roman Rosales as Aiden Perry waits in the on-deck circle. He's thinking about turkey and a home run and a turkey from the Salt Lick. The 0-2. Grounded. And that's going to be a chop picked up. And that will actually... Thank you so much. The hospitality here at the Stompers is some of the best in the CCL. That is so much. Thank you so much. That means a lot. They're fixing the umbrella here. As Roman Rosales still at the plate here in the top of the 8th. 3-0 Stompers out in front as Nico Rodriguez deals the 0-2. He sets, he waits, he delivers. As it's fouled back, and the at-bat continues for Roman Rosales. 1 gone and nobody on here in the 8th is your Athletics trying to get this offensive train moving. The offense, they've had the hits, but they've not been able to correlate into runs. The 0-2. Ran it towards second. Picked up by Hall. It's going to be an interesting throw. The throw over to first, and he's safe. Roman Rosales for a 1-out single here in the top of the 8th. That's what the Athletics need right there. Can they capitalize on the momentum? That's the one thing the Athletics need to do is capitalize on the momentum here. Can they do this here in the top half of the inning here in the 8th? As Aiden Perry steps up to the plate. As Aiden Perry out of Dakota State University. Here's the pitch on the way from Rodriguez. Called up and away for a ball, 1-0. Perry last time up. Actually, looking at my work. As Rodriguez on the mound is actually looking at my scorebook. Base hit in the 3rd and grounded out in the 1st. Swung on and missed. A throw over to 2nd by Gastelum. And he got him out. Wow. What a throw by the Spartan Gastelum out of San Jose State University. What a throw. And that'll put 2 gone here in the 8th. The Athletics have had some of the best, have had a good performance of the week. But can they correlate? Can they hit? Can they get runs in this inning? The pitch called for a strike. 2 gone, and nobody on here, top 8. Here's the pitch on the way. He sets, he waits. Rodriguez delivers. Skips across the plate, and it's been interesting to look at. Aiden Perry, out of Dakota State University, calls Austin, Texas home now. The Trojan at the plate. Here's the pitch on the way from Rodriguez, the 2-2. Rodriguez delivers, called low and inside for a ball. Make the count full 3-2 as Cameron DeMaria waits in the on-deck circle. The young man out of Fresno, California. As the Athletics can try to get Perry on. Can Perry get on base? We shall see. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And that'll retire the side here in Fresno. Here in Sonoma, I should say. But your Athletics will try to get something going here defensively. Here in the home half of inning number 8, it's the Stompers with 3 and your Fresno Athletics with 0. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. We go to the home half of the 8th here in Sonoma as Logan Azum steps up to the plate for his 4th appearance. Trey Williams on the mound, showing the rubber. 3 pitchers used so far for the Athletics. As the Athletics, first pitch dealt from Trey, called for a strike right down Main Street, 0-1. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 batters of Azine, Gastelum, and Beltram. The right fielder, catcher, and DH batter for the Stompers in the home half of the 8th. Here's the pitch on the way from Trey. Here's the 0-1. Called for a strike, 0-2. A little bit interesting to look at. The scoreboard out in right center field is a little bit slow to get the balls and strikes on there. The count's 0-2. Trey ahead in the count here. Here's the pitch on the way from Trey. He sets, he waits, he delivers. The 0-2 in the air, center field, drifting back is Ahmed. Zach Ahmed camping under it. He makes the grab for out number 1. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 8th. And nobody on is Omar Gastelum, the catcher for the Spartans of San Jose State. What an arm by the Spartan catcher for the Stompers. A throw, able to throw out one of the Athletics in the previous inning. Is your Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here if they have a chance in the 9th. Here's the pitch on the way from Trey. 1 gone, nobody on. Here's the pitch. He delivers. Called low for a ball. Low and inside for a ball. 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes here in the bottom half of inning number 8. Your Athletics trail at the moment by 3-0 against the Stompers. Here's the 1-0. Called high and upstairs. 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 gone. Bottom 8 is your Athletics. Trying to get off the field defensively. They've played smart throughout the whole entire ball game. Ochoa over at short instead of Dodd. The 2-0 called upstairs, high and away. 3-0. Excuse me, as Trey's behind in the count now. Can Trey pull a rabbit out of the hat here? He's in a 3-0 hole here. Here in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the 3-0 on the way from Trey. Behind in the count. Can he get himself for a strike? He delivers. Call for ball 4 on the inside. It's kind of one of those 50-50 balls. Putting a runner aboard over at first. It'll be Derek Bartram, the DH man, for the Stompers out of Fresno State. 2 Bulldogs, 2 Diamond Dogs in this lineup. It's really cool to see that the Diamond Dogs out in their summer collegiate teams. Also, Michael McKernan at the Crabs, actually. One of the players for Fresno State. He's out at the Crabs right now. That's right. Two guys in the lineups here called for a strike, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike for Derek Beltram. Two Diamond Dogs on this roster for the Stompers, the 0-1. In the air, that's going to be a grounder. Picked up by Ochoa, mishandles it, and it's going to have back-to-back base hits. Actually, a base hit for the Diamond Dog, Beltram. Playing runners at first and second here in the bottom of the 8th. As Chara Ipergina, the first baseman, steps up to the plate for his 4th appearance. A fly out in the 6th, grounded out in the 4th, walked in the 2nd. It's your Athletics trying to get off the field offensively here with only 1 gone here in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch on the way from Trey. Peeks at second, he delivers. Foul to that right side. Ipergina out of Chico State at the plate for his 4th time. It's your Athletics trying to stop this scoring spree already. Hits already so far for the Stompers. The 0-1. Fouled off, and that's going to be 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes and 1 gone. Trey Williams on the mound, chilling the rubber. 3rd pitcher for your Athletics. It was started by Drake Dowd with 5 innings. Had 8 punch-outs for the young man out of Navarro College. The Bulldog striking out a Bulldog. As Trey ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 gone. Bottom 8. Athletics trying to get off the field defensively here and trying to strand runners. Here's the pitch on the way from Trey. He sets, he delivers. Pop up, right field, tracking it down is Byram, running towards it, and that's going to go down for a hit. And that's going to load the bases here at Arnold Field as a trio of athletics of Devin Bonine in right. Aiden Perry and Cameron Demaria were running towards the ball, and that ball just landed right in the middle. It's the Athletics trying to get off the field offensively here. Can they pull a rabbit out of the hat here with bases loaded here in the bottom of the eighth? Back-to-back base hits for the Stompers here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Blue sky all around. Not a cloud in sight here in wine country. Here's the first pitch from Trey. Called for a strike right down Main Street, 0-1. No balls and one strike for Nathan Brasser, the center fielder for the Stompers out of Brown University at the plate. Stompers in those Dodger-like uniforms. I can't believe I'm saying that here in the Bay Area. Here's the pitch, the 0-1 called. Little bit inside. One ball, one strike, and one gone. The ones are wild here in the bottom of the eighth. Stompers in their white uniforms, blue lettering, that was Stompers in that blue cursive script. Their numbers in orange. The 1-1 in the air, right field, tracking it down is Bonine. That's going to go down for a base hit. Rounding third is Gostilum, and he's going to score standing up. Here comes two, and that's going to be an RBI double for Nathan Brasser. You can listen to this crowd cheer. 5-0 here in Sonoma. Wow. An RBI double for Brasher, putting runners at second and third. It's your Athletics trying to stop the bleeding here. Very reminiscent of yesterday. The first pitch on the way, called on the inside. 1-0. One ball and no strikes for the second baseman, Hayden Hall. Hayden Hall out of Monterey Peninsula. Here's the pitch on the way, the 1-0 from Trey. He sets, he waits, he delivers. Swung on and missed for a strike, 1-1. Trey on the mound, towing the rubber. Sure, Fresno Athletics trail by 5 now, 5-0. Here in wine country, a beautiful afternoon for baseball, but it has not cooperated for the Athletics on the field. The pitch skips across the plate, 2-1. Runners over at second and third, and only one gone still. Here in the bottom of the eighth, your Athletics trying to find that defensive mojo they had during the whole entire game. The Athletics trying to stop the ball of Twine from unwinding here in the eighth. The 2-1 in the air, right center field, and that's going to go down for a base hit. Rounding third is Apragina, and that's going to score two. That's going to throw over to the plate. He got him in time. As a run scores, makes it 6-0. But will keep the runner thrown out over at home plate. That's Nathan Brasser with an RBI single clearing out the bases. So we go to the 9 hole with Jeremy Maldonado, the third baseman. 0 for 3 so far in the 9 spot for the Stompers. Here's the pitch on the way from Trey. He sets, he delivers. Caught upstairs. Carlos Turk running to rifle it over to first, but decided not to. One ball, no strikes, 2 gone, and the base is cleared here in Sonoma. 3 runs scored already here in the 8th. Very reminiscent of what happened yesterday. Here's the pitch from Trey. Swung on and missed for a strike, 1-1. One ball, one strike for Jeremy Maldonado. He was struck out a pair of times in the 2nd and the 5th and had a line drive out in the 7th. That actually was caught by Isaiah Ochoa, actually. So your Athletics ready to go here in Sonoma. Here's the 1-1 on the way from Trey. He sets, he delivers. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Trey finding that zone perfectly. He's had good command of it. But the Athletics trying to stop the bleeding here as they trail by 5 at the moment. The Athletics ready to go here. Here's the 1-2 punch from Trey. 2 gone, nobody on. The pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3 to end the inning. That's a good way for Trey to end the inning as we go to the top of the 9th right after this. But 3 runs scored here in the 8th for the Stompers. They lead 5-0 against your Fresno Athletics. We go to the top of the 9th right after this here in Sonoma. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network. It's decision time for your athletics as we go to the top of the ninth here in beautiful Sonoma, California. I'm Brian Welch of the Athletic Streaming Network as Cameron Demaria steps up to the plate facing Nico Rodriguez. Here's the first pitch on the way from Rodriguez. Called for a fastball right down Main Street. According to Anthony Demaria, he had a radar gun on him. That fastball was at 91. So the Stompers bringing their best stuff against the Athletics. Here's the 0-1 on the way from Rodriguez. Swung on. That's going to be grounded towards second. Picked up by Hall. He throws it over to first, and he got him in time. One gone here in the ninth. One gone here in the ninth as Tyler Smith steps up to the plate out of St. Peter's University, averaging, I should say, my apologies, looking at my notes. Tyler Smith averaging .250 at the plate, our recent player of the game yesterday. Tyler Smith in the DH role as the Athletics ready to go here. Assistant Coach Wyatt Featherson said, let's hit something. Let's get something going here offensively in between innings. Here's the pitch. That ball's popped up. Right center field. Tracking it down is going to be Brasser, and he makes the grab. Two gone here in the ninth. And the Athletics are down to their final out here in the ninth. As let's see who it will be. They're going to send Cameron Bryant up. Cameron Bryant had an appearance yesterday in the loss against Petaluma. So the Athletics saying, hey, you know what? When the back's against our wall, if our back's against the wall, we got to send it. We got to get something going here offensively, and they're going to send Cameron Bryant to the plate. Cameron Bryant still deciding where he wants to pursue his academic and athletic career. First pitch on the way, called low for a ball, 1-0. This is fast stuff by Rodriguez. Our next broadcast will be on Tuesday at 8 a.m. against the Sacramento Yankees. You probably think it was against the Yammers, but it's against the Yankees. That ball's going to be lined into right towards shorts. Picked up by Marion. The throw over to first. And the throw's in time for out number 3, and that will be the ball game here in Sonoma. 6-0, Stompers defeat your Fresno Athletics. Post-game show coming up right after this as this losing streak continues to 7 here in Northern California. Once again, Stompers defeat your Fresno Athletics 6-0 here at Arnold Field in beautiful Northern California. Post-game show coming up right after this. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletic Streaming Network. Post-game show here in Sonoma as your Athletics fall to the Stompers of Sonoma. 6-0 here with our player of the game, Drake Dowd. The young man at Navarro College, the Bulldog, on the mound till the rubber started for the Athletics. I'm Brian Welch for the Athletics Streaming Network. How are you? A long time no see, my friend.
Yeah.
Hey, hold that microphone a little bit up there. There you go.
Just before the game, yeah.
Our carpool, we were on the carpool together.
Yep.
And it felt like you were in the zone. 8 punch-outs.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. I mean, I just knew I had a good defense behind me, so I was able to be really confident in throwing it in the zone. So. And
those 8 punch-outs stranded a Stompers offense that could not really figure out how to take you down.
Yeah.
It felt like you were on the zone, firing strikes. What was that? How was that like pitching in a CCL environment?
I mean, it was a lot of fun. Pitching to really good competition. 95% of the game we played really well. I would just say there were a few mistakes. It's rough, whatever. We've got to move on. But I feel really good about how I did today and how the team did today.
And it felt like you had the command of the zone. It was a zone that was kind of questionable in some moments of the game, as there's Cameron DeMaria off screen. But it felt like you had your moments, and it felt like you were more comfortable than your first outing, I should say.
I definitely was. In my first outing, I struggled with mixing pitches. Throwing too many fastballs, and my breaking ball was a little bit down. But today I had both my fastball and my breaking ball. Threw a few good changeups, but really it was the slider today, and some really good defense behind. So
I think one thing that the Athletics have been preaching so far during this 7-game losing streak. I know we're not supposed to talk about it. Summer collegiate baseball. We're all having fun, but limiting the walks, that was one thing I think you guys did a very good job of figuring out. Okay, you can get them, strike them out, put the batter into a position that could have a chance for a ground out or a fly out. It felt like the Stompers struggled to find ways to hit against you, and then it felt like those 8 punch outs, probably a great job on the defensive side.
Yeah. One of the biggest things for me as a pitcher is no walks. I have it on the pinky of my glove. It's on the pinky side, and it says no walks. So I know I had 3 walks, or maybe 4. 3.
Let's see. I mean, it might have 3 or 4. I can get back to you in the back.
But either way, it was better today than it was last time, and I feel really good about it. I feel really good about the team. I feel good.
Well, you know what? You being from Texas. From Navarro College, the Bulldog who struck out. You struck out a Bulldog. I said on the air. You struck out 2 guys from Fresno State. That's right. Two guys from Fresno State. No, nobody from Navarro College. I mean, but I mean, 2 Fresno State batters, Wyatt Davis, and also I'm trying to think who else that was. Beltram. My apologies. Yeah. 2 Diamond Dogs that I broadcast during the spring, but it felt like you had the command of the zone. Anybody want to give a shout out to? I know your dad was. Your dad's one of our favorite listeners and viewers here on the Athletic Stream. And who would I give a shout out to?
I want to give a shout out to both my parents. My mom is in Alabama, so she's probably not watching. Mimi, David, both my grandparents who are also watching. Nana, Pop, love y'all. I love all of y'all, and I'm really glad you came to watch. Or not came to watch, but came to watch it online.
But a girlfriend will give a shout out to a girlfriend.
I don't have a girlfriend.
But one thing before I let you go is that you, being from Texas, I know we talked about Aiden Perry and his favorite place to go is the Salt Lick with his turkey and stuff. We've been talking about this on the air for a long time. But what's your favorite spot being from Texas? Where you like
so far of like where we've gone?
Like for barbecue, like your favorite barbecue. We were talking about this tomorrow. We were talking about that.
If you ever go to Fort Worth, Texas,
you
got to go to Railhead. Railhead Barbecue.
That's right.
It's I don't even really know. It's somewhere in Fort Worth, but we go all the time. I love it.
What do you get? Do you get the turkey at the Railhead? What's your favorite thing?
I usually get a pulled pork sandwich. That's my.
That's right. You were talking about the pulled pork and stuff.
Gotta get some corn and some a baked potato.
A baked potato and corn. Okay. Will you put cheese on that baked potato or no?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Gotta get.
You
put chives on there or no?
Nope, not a Shives guy.
I'm hungry already, Drake. Oh, my word. Hey, I'm hungry. I think we're all hungry. But our play of the game, everybody, from Navarro College, the Bulldog, Drake Dowd, everybody. Drake, thank you so much for hopping on the post-game show.
Thank you.
That's right. The young man out of the Lone Star State will be right back with our conversation of head coach Oscar Hinosa right after this. Post-game show continues here in Sonoma. You're watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network.
All right.
Post-game show here in Sonoma. Welcome back. I'm Brian Welch for the Athletic Streaming Network here with head coach Oscar Hinojosa. Coach, another frustrating afternoon indeed at the yard. But you know what? When you're playing in 80-degree weather, not a cloud in sight, it makes it feel a lot better. Coach, I mean, first of all, a tough loss. What did you think about today's game against the Stompers?
Well, thanks, Brian, again.
You're
for having
welcome.
me on the show. Yeah, it was. It was tough because I thought we had moments. I thought we had opportunity. We made some mental mistakes today, and those hurt. Those end up hurting. Yeah, I was encouraged by a lot of things. I was encouraged by the way Drake was able to throw the ball today. I was encouraged by the way Trey Williams was able to throw the ball today. And, got away from us a little bit here at the end, but I felt like we had opportunities. I never felt like we were out of the game. And the reality is we got to be better offensively. That's it.
8 punch-outs by Drake Dowd as the Stompers defeat your Fresno Athletics 6-0. It felt like you guys had moments. I mean, it felt like in that lineup, when Turk would step up, that lower third of the lineup would step up, get some hits, and Carlos Turk's sake, getting that hit by a pitch during that the first pitch he saw. But it was tough. It felt like it was you guys were able to get on base, but it was tough for you guys to open the door and get home.
Cash them in.
Yeah.
It was hard to cash them in. We just didn't get the hit we needed when we needed it. We got, and you mentioned Carlos, and man, he seemed like he was in every play involved in everything that happened today.
Yeah.
A couple of plays at the plate that could have changed the game a little bit, and it's not for lack of effort. So I'll tell you that right there. Anybody that's listening, it's not, hey, we're doing everything we can. We're trying to do as much as we can, and guys are working hard, and we're just not getting the results, and that's frustrating. But we feel comfortable. We're going to turn that around.
Well, yeah, you guys will face the Sacramento Yankees on Tuesday at 8 a.m. But talking about being over at third base, you were coaching over at third base. What was that like? First time coaching over at third base in a full game.
It allows me to be kind of closer to the game. There's certain things that I make decisions sometimes on the fly based on things that I can see. Sometimes from the dugout it gets lost in translation. So I just thought today with a little bit bigger crowd, a few more people, I thought it was just better that that we get those signs and instructions.
And how slippery was that at third? How slippery was that base at third base? Not once, but twice. Carlos Turk somehow slips. I mean, he's rounding third with a full head of steam, and it just slips, and then Roman Rosales gets into that pickle, and that it just felt like was it that slippery on when you turn to third from third.
It must have been because there was nothing stopping him from third to home plate. I mean, there was literally nothing in front of him. It was just just one of those situations, and it maybe a little bit of the field, a little bit of coming in hard at third base, and so, we just didn't score the runs when we needed to. And we'll regroup, and guess what? We got a game Tuesday against the Sac Yankees, and we need to be better.
And you know what? The famous philosopher says there's always baseball and summer collegiate baseball, always another game.
Right.
But also, it felt like in my time being here with the Fresno Athletics, my second season as the play-by-play voice of the Fresno Athletics, that was the best your team has played against a CCL club. Like staying in there, duking it out with probably some of the best. I mean, last year at Healdsburg winning the CCL in San Luis Obispo at the end of the summer and playing lights out, having guys from the SEC, guys from Tennessee, guys from Texas, some great Power 5 programs, get some draft picks. I mean, talking of one guy, and then he gets drafted by the Marlins the next week.
Right.
So like, well, people, but it felt like it felt like you guys you guys went toe for toe.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, we fully, at one point there, we fully expected to take the lead and do things and put pressure on them. So, we're hoping we're the gap is not as wide, and we're continuing to work. And of course, the CCL has been kind of at the the point of premier leagues in California.
That's right.
There's no doubt about that. It was nice to see some Fresno State guys out on the field today.
Wyatt Davis and Beltram. That was pretty cool to see, like, two guys from Fresno State being a part of a part of this Stompers offense.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to the catcher from San Jose State as well. Who just got knocked out of the regionals yesterday. I think it was yesterday.
That's right, against Fullerton.
And so, yeah, a lot of good talent, but we went toe-to-toe, like you said, and we're not much for moral victories, but we thought we played well. We thought we played well for 85% of the game, 85% of the game. It was the other 15 that got away from us a little bit, but we want to come back. We want to play as many CCL opponents as we can, and would love to have them at our place as well.
Well, that would be a lot of fun. That would be breaking news, earth-shattering news that the CCL travels to the San Joaquin Valley. That would be a lot of fun. But one thing I think it's kind of apparent to look at is how you guys approached the 8th inning. Yesterday it kind of fell apart for you guys, and then it fell apart again in the 8th. I know this is the tough questions, Coach. I know I apologize.
No, go for it.
That was the 8th inning. What can you guys do better? I mean, it felt like you were talking about that 15% earlier. How can you guys drive that 15% into the 8th and put the pedal to the metal, Coach? Go ahead.
Well, defensively, we got to clean that up. I mean, it's anybody that watched the game can see. Defensively, we were not good in the 8th inning. So we have to be good in the big moments. We got to be good when the game's kind of on the line. So defensively, we have to be mentally ready and prepared to make every play. We need to make the routine play. And, occasionally you're going to make that diving stop. But for the most part, make the routine play. Make sure the moment's not too big, like I keep reiterating, and clean it up defensively. And we just, you just need to make plays.
And it felt like you guys went toe for toe. I mean, this has been probably, I was saying on the broadcast, probably one of the best games you played all week. I mean, it felt like you guys put together a good chunk of defense, that you guys were able to track down grounders with a manicured field at Arnold Field. And it felt like, how does the defense complement the offense in the next homestand?
Well, that's what we need to put together. We need to put together the defense and the offense. We scored 20 runs prior in the 2 games prior to the series here in Northern California, and so we need to put our offense and defense together, and I'm confident that we're going to do that. Currently, we're putting pieces together. So today we pitched well, and which we hadn't. So we pitched well and we defended well, except for that 15%. But offensively, we weren't ready. We didn't perform. So can we put it together? Yes, 100%. I feel comfortable and confident that we can do that. We just need to put it together. We need to put together a complete game.
That is what head coach Oscar Hinojosa said. A complete game against the Yankees. I know, but before we talk about the Yankees coming in on Tuesday and Wednesday at 8 a.m., was it like coaching at Arnold Field? It kind of. I was saying on the broadcast earlier as my computer almost overheats, but we were talking about this earlier. It felt like every ballpark in Sonoma has a ball. We're good to go. As actually we have overheated, but we're still live. My apologies. Okay, we're talking about the ballparks that every home game. As your Fresno, you keep talking, Coach. Why is it? I mean, it felt like it was a good change of pace that the home plate was to the east. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great field. We enjoy coming here. I mean, we'll hopefully. That's not I'm not so much in charge of the scheduling, but if ownership thinks that to come back here, I mean, it's
good atmosphere.
Yeah, you got a good entertainment. Sonoma Stompers, Reading Colt 45s, Medford Rogues, and Humboldt Crabs. Can't beat that. Those are guys are on the team to play these guys.
And talking about the Yankees will be coming into town on good old-fashioned Tuesday at 8 a.m. We're really familiar with. What do you expect from the Yankees and Jay Landress Ball Club?
Well, they're always well prepared. We match up well with them. We have in the past. I think we've split some series with them. Come out and be ready to play, and we will as well. And anybody who wants to come out to Chachansey Park, come on out Tuesday.
Sub-Zero. Thank you so much for watching Fresno Athletics Baseball on the Athletics Streaming Network.